When it comes to designing your home or small apartment, the challenge most people face is making it cohesive, aesthetic, and functional, like the thousands of photos they've saved on their Pinterest boards, but without spending a fortune. What if I told you some of that magic lies in that Ikea next to your home? Well, best believe, because I've done it myself. My home features a decent amount of Ikea products ranging from storage units, lights, organizers, shelves, plants, and as we speak, I've got a bedroom makeover and it's definitely going to feature Ikea finds. So stick till the end to find out how you can elevate the look of your home with affordable Ikea finds. Buckle up and let's go for the ride.
Now, given that storage is a headache most small homes and even the decent sized ones face, we'll start off with some of the storage solutions Ikea offers, kicking off with the Besta. The Besta units are a good way to solve the storage problem, and depending on what you're looking for, you can customize them to suit your aesthetic. Using the different Besta units in my house, I'll show you guys how you can make the most of the Besta units. Starting with this Besta storage unit in my hallway, not only does it work as my backyard, but also storage for different miscellaneous items around the house. In terms of layout, they are so modular and you can configure them a few different ways depending on the space you have available. In my case, I opted to have them in one straight line in order to cover a good chunk of the recessed space in my hallway. As for customization, it also allows for different configurations, so whether you want an entire empty cabinet, a shelf system, it's got it all and it doesn't stop there. You can also choose different types of doors depending on the aesthetic of your space, and if you want to take it even further, you can upcycle it to make it look expensive the way I upcycled this one using DIY tools. For those who'd like to give it a try, all you'll need is a jigsaw, a drill, liquid nails, flat reed, can ribbon, and a couple of hours over the weekend. Once you're done, trust me, it will be worth it, given that a similar looking storage unit would cost you upwards of $1,500. If you'd like to see how I did it, check out my hallway and living room transformation video. Moving along, the Besta units can also be used as TV stands, and to put that into perspective, I've got one in my bedroom, although its days are numbered since I'll be swapping it out for something similar to what I have in my office, but for this one I'll be going with the Joico Viking door fronts to add some visual interest to the space. While on the storage train, the Fjallbo storage system is another Ikea item worth checking out. Just like the Besta, it comes in a variety of configurations, although not as versatile as the Besta when it comes to configuration, but still equally as useful. The most obvious use case being storage, and as you can see, I use the taller version to display some of my decor pieces as well as store my microphones, whereas the caged one is mostly used for storing miscellaneous office items. Another use hidden in plain sight would be the visual interest they add to your space thanks to the industrial vibe they bring. As for placement, they can be used pretty much anywhere in the house, so whether it's the bedroom, living area, or your home office, they'll fit perfectly as long as your theme matches the black and walnut aesthetic they have. Talking of matching the aesthetic of your space, the Ikea lac shelves not only give you that option but also a variety of lengths to pick from. Take for example someone in a small apartment. The fact that space is a premium, the lac shelf is a good option given that it offers plenty of storage options, so whether it's shoes you want to have on it, decor pieces, books, you'll just be fine. And the best part is, if DIY isn't part of your existence, after assembly you can simply push it against the wall and you're good to go. Lac shelves can also be used to deck out empty spaces in your home, just like I did in my home office using these 110 by 26 cm floating shelves. This concept can also be adopted in the bedroom, with the 190 by 26 cm shelf offering a lot more storage. Speaking of a lot more, the Ikea lac is more than just floating shelves. There are also TV stands, coffee tables and stools under the lac flag, and given their affordable price, they are a good starting point for someone trying to furnish their small apartment. Speaking of affordable prices, these Mosslanda floating shelves are super cheap, coming in at just $10 Australian. They look similar to the Maleras, although the Maleras would cost you an extra $7. In terms of colors, they come in a few different colorways, and as for use case, they are super versatile even though they are specifically designed to be picture ledgers. For context, in my main setup, I use them to store my wireless microphones and a bunch of miscellaneous office items. In my second setup, they are the home to these Ikea lamps, which I'll talk about a little later. To show you guys just how versatile they are, they can also be used in the kitchen as a home for your plates and cups. Speaking of versatility, the Ikea Eket storage system offers a lot more versatilities compared to the Mulleras. Whether you want a single one, a mix of big and small, one with the door, green, white, yellow or walnut, the Eket storage is that versatile, and the best part is you can also have them lined up on the floor if you find wall mounting a bit challenging. In my case, I chose to mount them on the wall, and as you can see, I use them to display some of my trophies, store my books, as well as my gaming controllers. Something to note though, the door handles don't come with the boxes. The ones I have here, I got them from Amazon. Again, like I've mentioned throughout the video, I recommend boxes that match your theme to create a cohesive space that is still functional. Perfect example is how the white and walnut of the boxes matches with the white and walnut on the media console as well as my coffee table. Moving along, the Klackenas Sideboard is next in line, and like most Ikea products, it's a name that might take a second or two to pronounce, and again, like most of the other names, I'm sure I've butchered the pronunciation, but where I haven't butchered is the placement of this board and how I accessorized it. If you'd ask me, its best spot is either in the dining or bedroom, but that's not to say you can't have it anywhere else. That aside, I like how it's minimal, yet it still commands a presence, but where it really shines is functionality. Hidden behind these doors is enough storage space, so whether you're stashing away dinnerware or your underwear, hiding the mess before guests arrive, or organizing your everyday essentials, this sideboard has your back. Speaking of having someone else's back, the homeward side table will do exactly that to your drink when you're chilling on the couch entertaining guests or watching a movie, and to make sure the experience is smooth, in case of any leaks, these Glottis Coasters also from Ikea make it one hell of an evening, more so if you and your friends take a few trips to the home bar and back. Anyway, home bar trips aside, these coasters are not just durable and good quality but also look like a decor piece when not in use. Speaking of something not being in use, when the homeward side table isn't being used to hold your drinks, it has ample storage to hide things like remote controls, books, etc, etc. As for color options, you either get it in this dark brown or oak veneer. Having just mentioned a dark and light item, we might as well carry on in the light direction and tell you what, this is another area Ikea offers thousands of options, and starting with this one on the sideboard, not only does it act as a light source, but the orange color adds some visual interest to the space. For those wondering about the name, I'll be honest, I can't pronounce it, but here's a picture with the name on it for reference. Now, I know you might have seen a similar light in my bar area, but that one is not from Ikea. It's a dupe I bought from Amazon, and that goes to show you just how popular the donut light is that a dupe had to be made. In terms of price, it's about $30 cheaper and works just as fine. Now that we are back at the home bar, we might as well talk about the other Ikea light before carrying on with the rest of the lights. People of the internet, this is the Solklint lamp, and like small jewels in shiny brass and clear glass, this lamp spreads soft mood lighting, and in the evenings is where it actually comes to life. They'll perfectly fit wherever you choose to place them in the house. Another lamp that will definitely fit wherever you decide to place it is AskMuller. I most definitely butchered that, but it's quite an interesting name for a lamp. Anyway, design wise, it's like a modern version of a traditional kerosene lamp, and I like how the visible light bulb somewhat looks like a real candle flame and spreads a soft and warm mood light that you can adjust as needed with the built-in dimmer. Quick hack here, switching to smart bulbs makes the process a lot easier, as you can adjust the colors, brightness, as well as turn it on and off from the comfort of your phone. Before you type it up in the comments and ask, where did you get the orange one from? The original color was pink, but since I wanted to add to the orange pop that is dotted around the house, I spray painted it to match the theme. While on that subject, I did the same exact thing for the Ackja and it ties in well with my mushroom lamp in the office. The Tanabe and the Macfrost are also part of my home office light ensemble, and like all the other lamps, you'll have to get the bulbs separately. As for the bulbs I have in my lamps, majority of them are smart except for the Macfrost and Ackja, which carry the Molnat E27 bulb with 140 lumens. Moving along, the Skaftet is a carved floor lamp you can use to elevate your living or dining area, and honestly speaking, for just $100 it's quite affordable given its size. Something to note though, it doesn't come with a lampshade, so you'll have to cough up an extra $65 to get a lampshade like the Nemo, or if you prefer a white one, the Ringstar or Skotop will cost you slightly less. These decorative light set can also cozy up your space thanks to their warm and soft glow, and what I like about them the most is they are battery powered, so when you run out of juice you can easily recharge them. Moving along, I might be wrong, but a good number of people like to check themselves out before they leave the house, and placing a mirror on your way out is never a bad idea, as it not only serves that functionality but also opens up the space, making it feel huge. Now, while there's a myriad of options to choose from, the Stockholm Mirror will perfectly fit in an area where there are a lot of straight lines like my hallway. This is because it breaks the straight line monotony thanks to its circular shape, which adds the much needed visual interest. Moving along, in the past I've had a bunch of people ask me about this entryway organizer, and while it's almost similar to the Ikea one, this one is a DIY job I did a while back using timber offcuts. Nonetheless, the Ikea one provides the same functionality, the only difference being this one has an extra compartment for things like your mail. For just $35 you can easily store away your keys, shopping bags, etc, etc. Alright, at this point we've covered the accessories, the gadgets and all the little bits and bobs that make your home functional and aesthetic, but we haven't mentioned much when it comes to setting up a desk setup in your home office. Now, if you've spent even 5 minutes scrolling through desk setups on the internet, you'll notice something. Ikea is the unspoken king of home offices. Seriously, if you've seen a clean, modern, minimal desk setup, there's a high chance that Ikea had something to do with it. Whether it's the legendary Lindmon tabletop sitting on Alex drawers or the slightly fancier Kalby countertop, these combos have taken over like a well-organized Swedish invasion. Take my setup for example. I started off with an all-in-one desk, aka whatever I could afford at the time, then I upgraded to the classic white Lindmon and Alex drawer combo, but soon after I wanted something a bit more premium, so I leveled up to the Kalby desktop before finally graduating to the big leagues, a solid hardwood countertop on a sit stand frame with my trusty Alex drawers on either side. Throughout that journey, I sprinkled in every Ikea desk accessory known to mankind. Now, if you're just dipping your toes into the desk setup world, the Lindmon countertop and Alex drawer combo is a solid starting point, but be warned, the Lindmon countertop isn't built like a tank. In case you didn't know, the frame is mostly made out of fiberboard and chipboard, then the inside is basically a honeycomb made of recycled cardboard. So if your setup includes a massive monitor, a few heavy accessories, or the occasional existential crisis where you slam your fist on the desk, just be careful, during one of those moments it might give in. That aside, if you want something more sturdy, go for the Sargent or Kirby since they have actual solid wood in them. One thing though, if depth really matters to you, the Sargent and Kirby are only 25 inches deep, which for some people isn't a lot of space. If you want something bigger and deeper, you can get a custom countertop from a place like Bunnings here in Australia or Home Depot up in the United States. If you'd ask me, those extra inches make a big difference. Moving along, since we talked about the Alex drawers in passing, if you'd ask me, they are the MVP of desk setups. They are popular for a few reasons. Tons of storage, they are fairly priced, have a clean look and offer plenty of color options like white, grey, turquoise and oak. If none of those colors suit your vibe, guess what? You can just spray paint them whatever color you want like I did. Now, even though they offer plenty of storage, they can get quite chaotic without proper organization. Trust me, an Alex drawer without organizers turns into a black hole where USB cables, pens and your last bit of patience disappear. Good thing Ikea always has a solution. Enter the Ruggyside drawer organizers. Honestly speaking, words can explain how much chaos these drawer organizers have reduced in my Alex drawers. Speaking of reducing chaos in my home office, the Ikea pegboards have also helped in that regard, and I've set them up in different configurations to keep things visually interesting because, let's be real, a setup that looks good feels good. Speaking of which, these cascading plants add to that feel-good atmosphere. If you'd ask me, they are game changers, and that's why I've placed them around the office to add visual interest. For now, let's put a hold on the plants and get back to the pegboards. They usually come with a whole arsenal of accessories, which include beams, trays, baskets, hooks, clips, the list goes on and on. For some perspective, I've used some of the pegboard accessories to showcase my favorite keyboards, neatly store my mechanical keyboard switches, as well as set up a charging station for my gear. Last but not least, let's be honest, our home isn't complete without decor and plants. That's why, alongside all the sleek tech you've got, a bunch of plants and decor pieces from Ikea make your space feel more alive. When it comes to options, Ikea has an insane collection of decor from vases and wall art to lights and sculptures, so you can mix and match until your space feels uniquely yours. If you're unsure about plants, don't worry, you can start off with fake ones until you start to develop a green thumb.
Well, that about wraps up the different IKEA products you can use to make your home look functional, cohesive, whilst remaining aesthetic. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Now, since we just went through IKEA finds for your home, here are Amazon finds for your home office that will not only add functionality to your setup, but also make you more productive. Until then, people of the internet, I'm signing out. See you in this video.